iPads, and I guess tablets in general, are interesting devices. They provide a form factor that is bigger than a smartphone but easier to use than a laptop in places like your daily commute, in bed, and on an airplane. However, they currently do not have the apps or software for a full development lifecycle, at least not for a developer who has to make a living out of it. So you might ask yourself, why would I ever need an iPad for software development? And before we get into answering this very question, I'd really appreciate it if you can like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. It will really help me out here on YouTube to continue making these videos. So, why would you ever consider purchasing, maintaining, and worrying about another device if you are not sure it will bring you any benefits? Well, straight out of that, I would say iPads and the Mac combination provide one instant benefit, which is instant second screen. Just place your iPad down next to your Mac and you automatically have a second screen anywhere, which is amazing and super useful. And comparing something like an iPad Air versus a second screen, it starts to make even more sense. If you're an app developer like myself, you can use it as an instant development and testing device. Testing on a simulator is great and works really well, but you should always test on some real devices too. If you have a phone, setting it as a developer device can sometimes require you to do some things you might not want to do on a device that you rely on to make calls and communicate with family and friends. A dedicated device for testing is so helpful to not worry about the state of it after you finish testing. For me, one of the strongest use cases of an iPad is that it is a creative device. It makes the barrier to entry for creative tasks a lot lower. You can touch it, make changes with your finger or stylus. I personally never put a keyboard on my iPad. If I ever see the need for a keyboard on my iPad, I might as well use my laptop, which is a much better use case for those scenarios. So all my creative tasks I tend to do on an iPad. Design the look and feel of my apps and websites. Design promotional material, design app icons and assets using things like Canva. I find it so intuitive and easy to use. In addition to this, I can do those things and tasks from anywhere, on my couch and in my bed without having my laptop out. I have a very clear separation in my devices. If I'm coding, I'm using a laptop. Creative tasks like designing and marketing materials are for my iPad. I also do a lot of my research on my iPad. Reading is a pleasure on a tablet as it is like holding a book. It is easy and can be done from anywhere, so any research I need to do for my apps, websites, and socials, I would do on my iPad. With the ability to sync that research easily to my laptop, it makes it perfect when I do go onto my laptop and start coding because I then have everything I need already there and ready for me to start using. This brings me to my final use case, which is continued learning. As a software engineer, you need to continue learning every day. New tech comes out, new versions of existing tech comes out all the time, and it is hard to keep up with all of it. Due to iPads being so easy to watch videos, read books, and consume content, it makes them perfect for learning. You can watch courses on a new framework, read a book before bed, or review pull requests that utilize a new way of doing things. So there you have it. These are my use cases for having and using an iPad as a software engineer. I don't think anyone needs an iPad to succeed, but it does help in specific tasks, and these are the use cases that I mostly use my iPad for. If you enjoyed this video and want to see some great coding iPad apps, then please click here. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.